Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. Our show today is Talking Heads. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and I'm thrilled to be here for this particular episode, as I am for all of our Talking Heads shows. Talking Heads is a platform where people come from around the world to share their expertise, their knowledge, and their experience with our audience. Each talking head is hand selected and they are invited to participate. And they have 30 minutes to share their content. Joining me today for today's Talking Head show is Cathy Fulton. Let's welcome her to the program.
Hey.
Hello, good to see you again.
Yes, great to see you.
All right, I am pretty excited for this topic. I've never actually thought about it, and I'm going to be watching backstage. So have a great show and let me know when you want to have your deck.
Okay, I sure will. Well, welcome to this episode of how to choose the right watercolor for your pool. So, I get accused of overthinking so many issues, and I'm accused correctly. However, so many people have applauded me over the years for making them think through this selection process. So, let's let's talk about this before I start showing you all the pictures and talking about very thought-provoking ideas. So most people, when they want to build a pool, they do not realize that there are so many different shades of blue. And I'll ask the very simple question when we begin the selection process of what color do you want your pool water to be? And oftentimes they will just look at me like she's a little bit crazy. Yeah, we would like it to be blue. And so then I go into my spiel of look, there are so many different options out there in terms of the different shades of blue. And this is what I tell an interior client as well as an exterior client. And that would be, what do you want your outdoor space to say to people when they walk into your beautiful outdoor space? You either want it to be fun and inviting, kind of like a resort, or modern, serious, elegant. And people will really, when I begin to put these questions out there to them and start describing the different ways that your pool can look, then they really they begin to ponder. You can see the wheels begin to start turning. And then I follow it up with the one of the main reasons why you really need to take this selection very, very seriously is because this is something that's going to be in your backyard for at least 15 to 20 years. This is not a toss pillow that you can just switch out. It's not an outdoor rug that you can just roll up and either throw away or store. This is it. And it is, like I said, it is the focal point of your backyard. You can put all the outdoor furniture, all the pretty colored cushions, but it's there. Okay, so now that I have gone on and on about it, I want to show you some pictures. Now, I mean, you take a look at this picture and it's like, I don't know, what more could I say other than this is absolutely out of this world phenomenal. There is a company that I have worked with for years, and they are located in Northern Virginia, actually Chantilly, Virginia, to be specific. And the name of the company is Lewis Aquatech. They have been in business, folks, for 50 years. That's 50. So if you're going to be in business that many years with all of the rise and fall in the economy and have stood the test of time, you got to say to yourself, they're doing something right. And they are. And I'm going to show you probably about 20 pictures of their work that since I've known them for about the last 15 years. And I mean, your jaw is just going to drop. So I just want to walk you through some of these. But before I do that, I do want to say that if you are going to embark, really quite frankly, on any outdoor project, I don't care if it's 5 figures, 6 figures, and yes, even people will put 7 figures into their backyard. You need to work with an absolute professional, people that can design your space to the T. They will dot every I and cross every T. And I'm telling you, I never endorse a company, but Lewis Aquatech, they are the best of the best. So this one, like I said, I mean, it's breathtaking. It's absolutely exquisite. And the infinity edge on it, I mean, if you've never been in a pool and leaned against the wall of an infinity edge, you need to do that, because apart from it being so relaxing, it is just so amazing to be able to sit there and look out on the horizon. And this is in a neighborhood in Northern Virginia where the lots are humongous, and but there's still enough trees and forest, if you will, to feel like you're in your own little oasis, if you will. So this is one of their projects. Okay, so here's another one, and um, this is in that exact same neighborhood, and I mean, it's just again, it's just breathtaking. It's just over the top, and in this neighborhood, the Infinity Edge is really something that everyone is it's on their wish list. But notice the difference in the watercolor from this to this. And as we go along and I show you some of the other different materials that you can put in your pool to get you the exact color that you want, I'm gonna go back through these and tell you which finishes these are, so you'll have some really live examples. Okay, who knew that a 20 by 40 with a spool, a 20 by 40 rectangle pool with a spa included could look so elegant? I mean, it's just, I would never want to leave. Okay, this is in the middle of virtually nowhere. But again, look at the color of the water. What does it say to you? To me, it says that it's just very calm and soothing and serene. I almost feel like I could go fishing in there. But it's just beautiful. Here's another example of a modern infinity edge pool. And they added the color lights so that it would have that real vibrant blue. Here's another. Infinity edge pools up here are huge. So here's another one. But to me, this water, it looks like the water from the river to the left. It looks like it's perhaps running through their pool as well. So it looks like it's kind of seamless, if you will. So it kind of has that maybe Colorado Lake Tahoe look to it. Okay, and now this is a different version of a rectangle pool, and but it has a few bells and whistles. For example, the Raise Bond Spa. Easy for me to say, right? But you see how it has the little sun ledges where you can sit and just have a drink or talk to somebody. But again, look at the color of the water. Now, to me, that looks very close and reminiscent to the neighborhood pool color. Okay, and here's another angle of the pool that I showed you previously. This is the one that really matches the water in the river. Okay, so this one, it to me, it reminds me of like something from out of Gilligan's Island. But here's another food for thought. The darker the water, most of the time that's used in more modern spaces. Now, something that I also tell people that they really need to consider if they're really hot for that dark color water is if you have children, you need to really think twice about having that dark color water. Meaning, I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but let's be realistic. Things happen, and you want to be able to see if something has, God forbid, happened. Also, I don't know if you're a scaredy cat like I am, but I want to be able to kind of see my feet. And I, with snakes and frogs and who knows what else is out there, I want to be able to see who I'm swimming with. So, again, just another food for thought. Okay, so this pool was done for royalty. Imagine that. I think the design kind of spilled over into their actual life, if you will. The bottom of this pool, it's all tile. It was put in one piece at a time. That is an inordinate amount of work. But look how beautiful it is. And those lights, they're shining from underneath. Beautiful. I mean, just absolutely exquisite. So I don't know about you, but I could sit there and look at it all day long. But again, this is I'm showing you all of Lewis Aquatech's work. And I mean, it's just they're just amazing. This one over the years has been referred to as the client that wanted their pool shaped like a guitar. And this is very reminiscent as well of the neighborhood, like how the water looked in our neighborhood pools growing up. And I think it's probably pretty much the same. And a lot of people, I always say that to people because that's a common remark with this color of water. And people, they get a little off put. They're like, I don't want people to equate our pool with like the neighborhood pool. And so I'm like, okay, well then I'm glad I mentioned that. So we need to find another shade of blue for you. And this is definitely the neighborhood pool finish. And a lot of people will also call this, or they'll say this looks like Windex, but still at the same time, for I believe that this looks very refreshing and very like you could just run and jump in it. And you have the spa close by, so you could just dive into the pool. And also notice one other thing that I'm going to do a whole other show on, like basically accessories for the pool. But take a look at this sun ledge. If you don't get one of these days, you're missing it, because that is such a it's just so awesome to have, because you get the best of both worlds. You get to lay in the sun but be in the water at the same time with no sweat or minimal sweat. Okay, so this is the quintessential example of a modern pool. And this is something that personally it doesn't appeal to me. And people ask me all the time, well, what would you do? Okay, so I'm very frank with people. This would never, ever, ever appeal to me, because I feel like even as modern as it is and cool and chic and hip and all that, to me, if I'm going to spend all that money, I want my pool to look clean. And this, to me, looks like it would be dirty. And again, I would not be able to see who or what I was swimming with. And those are huge criteria for me. So this is another. It's a beautiful home in a neighborhood called the Reserve here in Northern Virginia, and just it's just a beautiful. It's this one's a beautiful work of art. Here again is another. I think I've shown you this. This is a different angle of the Infinity Edge pool. And this, wow. I mean, you've got to check out the boulders. I mean, you can actually this would be more or less like a wading pool. I mean, this pool It looks big, but when you see it in person, it is absolutely gigantic. And I do know for a fact that they had to get this pool done in record time because this was for royalty as well. And they want everything done lickety split. And they did it. But take a look at this sun shelf that I was referring to in the other picture. I mean, it's just, it doesn't get any better than this. So, highly recommend it. But again, the watercolor. Now, this to me looks kind of like on the verge of you're in the Caribbean somewhere. And that's another look that a lot of people really want because they want to go to the islands, but thank you, COVID, not everybody can get there these days. So, that is another very frequent request. Um, This is more like a kind of blue Tahoe, but if you look at the the tile work done in the middle of the pool, a lot of times people will want like um, their business logo or their family logo, or I mean, you name it. We've put fish in the bottom of pools, octopuses, turtles, you name it. There's more requests than I can even remember, but it's beautiful and it really adds to. This is what is known as a perimeter overflow. And I think I have another picture where I can show you a more close up design. But this is a very dark version of like if you're in the deep water in the Caribbean. But I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's so inviting, so tranquil. And this, well, again, who knew that a 20 by 40 pool could be so absolutely gorgeous? And this is more of like a royal blue. It doesn't really translate so well in the picture, but it is, and it's breathtaking. So, moving on, my next point is I wanted to talk to you about that there are different materials that you will put in the bottom of your pool, and they have texture. And so you definitely feel the texture on your feet, but that is also what gives you the different colors of water. So one of my all-time favorites, and I have talked more people into using this product than I could even care to remember. It's because it's so absolutely beautiful, and it's called Pebble Brilliance. And let me show you. Um, this is just like a little swatch of it, but this is what it looks like. And this is the definition of it. It's a refined texture finish, and it features a blend of vibrant glass beads and natural stone aggregate. It's a combination that imparts stunning beauty, and it does. I'm telling you, the water dances. It's I tell people it's like jewelry for the pool. Its smooth imported glass beads give extra foot comfort, as well as an added infusion of sparkle and color brilliance to the water. And so, one of the things that we do is we take people on field trips when they are trying to choose the watercolor because that's how important I truly believe that it is. And going on all these field trips is, I mean, it's an inordinate amount of work, but it is I have always been willing to take people because it is so much money that you are investing in this finish, and I want it to be the right decision for you. But over here to the left is a depth perception, and you can see what it looks like at the sun shelf level. And then here it is at 3 feet, at 6 feet, and 9 feet. And what happens with those beads is the sun hits it, and the water just dances. It's just when you see it in person, it's so hard to say, okay, I know that this is going to cost me an extra, I don't know, depending on the size of your pool, 10, 15, $20,000, but I want this because every time I look at it, I'm going to want to get in the water. So this one is called Deep Cove. And I mean, look at it. It's just that royal blue. And that's the way that it looks 99% of the time. Beautiful. So this is another one that is called Clearwater. And this is the one I've sold Purple Brilliance. I don't know how many times, but this is the color that always seems to be my go-to. So I guess my opinion kind of weighs in, not on purpose, just by default. But I mean, the color at the sun shelf level is gorgeous. At 3 feet, it's beautiful. At 6 feet, that's when it really begins to dance. And at 9 feet, it's just like a sparkler and exquisite. But I love how it feels on your feet as well. Now here's another one. It's called Majestic Sound, and this reminds me of being in the Caribbean. And again, you can see through the depth perception at the sun shelf, the 3 feet, 6 and 9 feet level. So inviting, looks crisp. Okay, Tropicana. So now the lighting that you can see interspersed throughout the pool, this is helping make it more almost like a navy blue. But you can see that this is kind of almost like splitting hairs with the Majestic Sound, just a little bit darker. And then we have this color that's called Shoreline. And this kind of gets into almost like that, the lake color, if you will, the lake kind of river. And this one is Oasis. I think that this one is closely reminiscent to like a bottle of Windex, but still, it's a beautiful bottle of Windex. And it is it's so refreshing. And then here's another one. Imagine that, it's called Sparkling Water. Look at it. I mean, just look at it. How can you not get in that? And then you have Crystal Harbor. Now, one point to consider when you're choosing your water is this is a really good photograph in terms of this is later in the day, obviously, because you can see how the sun is in the back. And so at different parts of the day, it's going to look either lighter or darker. But what really has a true impact, and you need to remember this, is on cloudy days, it's going to look even deeper, or excuse me, even darker. So if you are on the edge of maybe I don't want this one to be too dark, then go up one shade. And I think that you'll be happy. Just food for thought. And then this one is Aqua Falls and Vivid Shores. And then this one is Glacier Bay. But see how pretty it even looks in the Sun Ledger. Now, the next product that this company offers, it's called Pebble Tech. Completely different feel and look versus the Pebble Brilliance. Okay, so it's the original aggregate pool finish that has a more natural texture and delivers enduring elegance and durability. Now, the thing about the huge difference between Pebble Tech and a Pebble Brilliance pool is that the water with a Pebble Tech installation is going to be flat. It's really not going to have any pop, any fizzle. But the thing about it is, there is a huge price point differential. So you may be asking just altogether, why would you even use a Pebble product? Why not just get the white plaster that we all grew up with in our neighborhood pools? Well, for a couple of reasons. Pebble Tech, a Pebble Tech product is going to last anywhere between 15 and I would say a good 25 to 30 years. But the thing about it is, you've got to have your pool properly maintained, and that's critical. The people that do it yourself, it's just not a smart move, particularly when you have a finish in your pool like this that's so expensive. But with this finish, you can clean it so much more easily. There is very little staining. If there is staining on your pool from like leaves and any kind of other guadu that gets in there, it's much more easily to correct than if you just have white plaster. So that's the big advantage of using a Pebble Tech or any type of Pebble Tech finish. Now, this is what Pebble Sheen looks like. Now, let's go back to what the Pebble Tech looks like. Okay, so in my opinion, and it kind of feels like you're walking on stones. It can be a good precursor to a pedicure, meaning it can kind of like exfoliate the bottom of your feet. When you get into the Pebble Sheen, you can see how the stones and the pebbles are ground a little bit finer. So this is a good midway point for a lot of clients. It doesn't have the price tag that the Pebble Brilliance would, and it's smoother, and it's not as hard on your feet. But I've quite frankly, it's a personal opinion, because I've had people tell me, I really think that the Pebble Sheen is much rougher than the Pebble Tech itself. So I just say that you need to take a look at the samples and decide for yourself. Now, this is what the Pebble Sheen will look like, and it comes in an array of colors, more than I would have time to show you, just like the Pebble Tech does. They all have tons of colors from which to choose, and you just need to get with a good designer that can help you come up with the right color, and also perhaps take you on a field trip or two. But as you can see, it doesn't have, it's flat, just like the Pebble Tech. Nothing is going to pop and fizzle like the Pebble Brilliance. So just remember that. And then another category that Pebble Tech has is called Pebble Fina. And this is what it looks like. It's just an enduring, smooth finish. And the thing about this type of finish is that, I mean, yes, it's very smooth, but what you need to remember is that it's going to stain. It's not if, it's when. And whether you go with a lighter color or a darker stain, because they'll have gray stains, dark blue stains. When leaves get in, or any other outdoor material gets into your pool and it stains it, particularly on this type of finish, it's really, really hard to get out. And it really is an eyesore, and you are not going to be happy. I can assure you. Also, this type of finish, which it almost looks like drywall, if you will, it's not going to last as long as the others that have the aggregate stone and or the beads. So those are really good. there's a lot to consider. And I always just show everybody all of these categories just so that they can make an informed decision. There are other products out there other than Pebble Tech that have a lot of the same properties and the same qualities. Some are at a lesser price point, some are at a little bit of a higher price point. But at the end of the day, this is just to kind of give you a taste of what's out there. This was probably the best company with the best examples that I could find for you. So, I mean, that's really it as far as my presentation and everything that I could basically inform you of for a pool finish. If you ever need any help, you can always reach out to me. Again, it's Cathy Fulton. I do answer the phone. So if you like to call, it's 703-895-3798. Or you can email me, Cathy Fulton, 1965@gmail.com. Now, I would like to give you a contact person for Lewis Aquatech. So if you would like to bypass me and go straight to them, I know that they would love to hear from you. Someone that I've worked with over the years, his name is Joe Gwiz, and he's actually one of the owners. And I'll give you his phone number. It's 703 675 9046. And they are, again, I can't express enough that they are excellent communicators. They will give you very realistic budget numbers, and they will hold your hand the entire process so that you know exactly what you're getting into. I mean, you know, the COVID has been really great at making people think about, okay, do we need a staycation in our backyard? Because how long is this going to go on? How long are we not going to be able to really travel? And I mean, to be able to work with a company that can create spaces like this, I mean, I just think it's a gift, and you really need to get to know them, because even if you don't want to do a pool now, you may want to in the future. And um, I don't think, quite frankly, I don't think that you can go wrong. I've been around a long time, and I've seen a lot of pool companies and what they do and what they do not do. And probably the biggest compliment that I can give them is that their staff, all of them, they are artists, and they pay attention to the details. And that's what I always preach about my interior design work is the difference is always in the details. Anyone can order a sofa, anyone can order a chair, anyone can order a rug, but how do you put it all together? And that's the same way with a pool. Anybody can throw a freeform pool in the ground. Anybody can throw a rectangle pool in the ground, but it's how you use the materials and the delivery and the installation. That is what is critical. So that's it.
Unbelievably stunning, gorgeous. I love the fact that there's all this royalty there in the Northern Virginia area. I
Oh,
mean,
you have no idea.
When I went to the website, I'd love to bring up the website if we can. Let me just see if I can quickly
Sure.
get it. I just was blown away, and those pictures that you just shared. I mean, truly, where do you find work like this? Craftsmanship. It's just
Right, exactly. But I mean, to the point, do I hope people really understand how critical it is to make the right color, the right decision for the watercolor. I mean, it's such a huge focal point, and this is not something that is easily changed. I mean, like I said, it's not a toss pillow. It's this is it, folks. And I mean, so I kind of go into a little bit of overkill, but I just don't want people to have remorse over their decision.
Right, right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Should we take a look at the website?
Sure.
Okay, let me come back over here and share my screen. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see. Where should I go to?
Let's see. Let me try to get on the. Okay. So, I mean, you could go to swimming pools. You'll probably see a lot of the same ones, but we can review them again.
Okay. This one, I don't even know which one to go to. They're all so stunning. But you know what? What you brought up about the color of the water, it makes such a difference because I remember I was in Panama for a work program that I had sold for a big client. And in the pool, a magnificent, 5-star property, in the pool was a snake and a huge frog.
Oh,
So the participants were screaming, freaking out because they couldn't see that it was in there. And I thought, that's why in the ocean, if it's not like perfectly clear blue, I will not go in because I don't know what is in there. So,
right,
but
right,
I
right.
digress.
Right. But also, I mean, I can't emphasize enough. And I have had even people get mad at me when I talk about the dark color of water, and I specifically hone in on it when I know that they have children.
Mm-hmm.
And
Smart.
because it's all great to fantasize about having this really cool deep water if that's for you. I mean, I've made it abundantly clear it's not for me, but heaven forbid something should happen because your children get away from you, and don't you want to be able to see the bottom of the pool? And people really get mad at me, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I would not be able to sleep at night if I did not drill home that point. That's all I'm saying.
It's valuable. It's important. It's life changing, literally. And
Yeah,
I love these infinity pools. I always feel like they're so just, I don't know, there's something so romantic and freeing about them.
yeah. I mean, another word I use is it's like they're almost sexy. I mean,
Yes.
it's, it's I
Yes.
mean, how could you not get in there?
I,
Um,
we're
but
going. Where do they live? Hello, we're coming.
but
Something I want to share with you, Cathy, I think is really important because the level of superiority in this work, I was fortunate to stay at the Versace mansion when it was the Versace mansion in
oh my
Miami.
gosh.
And I actually had two pictures that I uploaded of their pool. And when I look at that, the Versace pool versus this is is outstanding. So let's just take a quick look. And
Okay.
so
Oh, wow.
I have a better one of the actual inside, but this, there's a big wall that goes around it, and then here's the tile work. I feel like the workmanship in this other photo is better than the Versace pool.
Yeah. Hands down. Hands down. And if you could see the other pool, the Lewis Aquatech pool in person, I mean, these pictures, they're great, but they really don't do it justice. I mean, their work is, I mean, it's just phenomenal. Now, here's the other side of it. Um, Materials have gone up, supply chain issues have created all sorts of other problems, and you can get a pool done inexpensively per se, but look, if you want this kind of quality, you're going to have to pay for it. Now, I'm not saying that they're the most expensive out there, but they're certainly not. There's certainly not a cookie cutter company. So, I mean, just be prepared for that. And but think how long that this is going to be in your backyard forever.
It's
So,
art. It's
yeah,
absolute art.
I'm telling you, it is. It is.
You don't have to leave the country. You don't have to leave the state. You can go right in your backyard when you have something like this. It's super fantastic. Wow. And I like
Yeah.
your point about this one. It is very dark. I
Yeah.
don't know what's in there. I'm not
I would
getting
never
in
get
there.
in.
I'm not getting in there. Something I wanted to ask you about, so I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and come back over there, is what about salt water? Is this something that's possible to have a saltwater pool?
Oh, that's really the only way to go.
Oh, fabulous. Okay. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think that that is included. I may be speaking out of turn, but I think in every single one of their contracts. It's just that important. I think chlorine is the old chlorine pools that like I grew up with. I very rarely.
Yeah, you get it. Your skin is like it's crawling from the chlorine. We do have a comment. And where is it? Here it is. It's from Diane Floyd Bain. We love you. Great points. We changed from the dark water to the clear blue sky.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I wish we could talk to her live. I would just be curious what changed her mind from the dark water to the clear blue. But
Diane, are you out there? Excuse me. If you are, can you put it into the chat, please? I mean, into the comments. And then I also put the phone number up 703 675 9046.
yes,
All
that's
right.
Joe Gwiz. Yeah,
Like,
and I know he would love to hear from you, and he does answer his phone. I do know that.
all right, we're going to wait a second for Diane. I know Diane is going to be joining me after this for our next show, which is the Corner Bookstore. But again, Cathy, the quality, the if this is good enough for royalty, it is good enough for me as far as I'm concerned. Just
Oh, me too.
exceptionally beautiful.
Yeah, and they've been in business for 50 years. So that tells you something right there. I mean, there are so many companies that will get on the pool bandwagon because like say for example a landscaping company, they will try to add that in. And I say beware because this is not someone that has done this. And so go with the professional, go with the one that's done it forever.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much. I don't know if Diane's still with us, but we have to move on for our next show. So,
Okay.
Cathy, I'm just going to spotlight you again, and I would love for you to share your information while I look for your banner. How can people get? Oh, I think Diane's back. Hold on. She's back. What did she say? Thank you. She said, we had to resurface our pool, and it was the perfect time to make it blue.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank-
So, well, yeah, if people want to reach out to me, feel free to call. I answer my phone too. And I can be reached at 703-895-3798. Or you can email me or text me. My email is Cathy Fulton 1965 at gmail.com. And that's Cathy with a C. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What a great show. And thanks, Diane, for being involved. And I'll see you shortly. All right, Cathy, have a great day. And thanks for two fabulous shows back to back.
Thank you. All right. You guys do the same, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for watching or listening, whether you're watching us on the live or listening on the live or on the replay. We're just so happy to have you here. Our platform is about hope, inspiration, education, and entertainment. As I mentioned, our next program is coming up. It's the Corner Bookstore, followed by the Film and Music Show, which is then followed by the Wise Ones. And as we close out the day, it's with Talking Heads and Mr. Red O'Loughlin. So thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you very soon in about 15 minutes. Thank you. Bye.